Let's face it, we live on our phones. We manage our money, our friendships, pretty much our entire lives through these little screens. But here's the thing. Lurking just under the surface of the apps we use every single day is this huge, growing danger that's costing people billions. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on digital investment fraud, and you might be surprised who the real targets are.
So, let me ask you a question, and be honest with yourself. Think you're too smart to get scammed? I mean, it's easy to think you can spot one from a mile away, right? A terribly written email, a super sketchy website. But what if the threat doesn't look like that at all? What if it comes from someone who seems like a friend on an app you use constantly?
Because that's the new reality. The whole game has changed. The very apps we count on, the ones we use to connect with people, have become the new frontier for some really sophisticated financial scams.
See, scammers aren't just trying to hack into computer systems anymore. That's old news. Now, they're hacking into our social circles, into our trust. They use the platforms we know and love, like WhatsApp, and they turn our own digital habits into weapons against us. So, if we want to protect ourselves, we first have to understand how these scams actually work. We need to pop the hood and really deconstruct the modern scammer's toolkit piece by piece. And you'll find that at the center of a lot of these scams is an app you probably use every day, WhatsApp. To us, it's this private, secure way to talk to our friends and family. But to a scammer, they see it as the perfect place to build fake relationships and operate in the shadows, totally hidden from anyone who could stop them. You know that end-to-end encryption we all love for our privacy? Well, it turns out it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It creates what researchers call a secure yet opaque environment, which basically means while it protects our conversations, it also makes it incredibly hard for anyone to track the bad guys or help victims get their money back once the damage is done.
And what's wild is just how methodical they are. It's like a playbook. Step 1 is always social engineering. They build a relationship, they create a believable story, they earn your trust. Then, once they have you hooked, they share a link. It's usually disguised as some hot new investment app. But what it really is a malicious APK file. That's an installation file for Android. Once you install it, bam, they have a backdoor into your phone. And from there, they can steal everything.
But it doesn't just stop with a message and a link. The real endgame is to get you onto their fake platform. And these guys have gotten scarily good at creating fake trading apps that look and feel 100% legit. I'm talking slick charts, real-time data, the whole 9 yards, all designed for one thing: to fool you.
So how in the world do you tell the difference? Okay, let's break this down. A legitimate platform is going to be regulated and transparent about who they are. The fake ones? Totally opaque, operating in the shadows. A real platform will talk about realistic returns and risks. A fake one will promise you the moon, exaggerated, guaranteed profits. That right there is a huge red flag. And finally, security. A real app will have things like two-factor authentication. A fake one? Not so much.
Now, it's really easy to look at a checklist like that and think, okay, got it. I'd never fall for that. But here's the catch. Spotting the fake act is only half the battle. The most powerful tool a scammer has isn't their tech, it's their understanding of psychology. They know how our brains are wired.
I mean, these people are experts at hacking our decision-making process itself. Why bother trying to crack complex code when you can just exploit the predictable mental shortcuts that all of us use every single day to make decisions? Let's look at a couple of their absolute favorites.
First up, we've got something called scarcity bias. Basically, our brains are hardwired to want things more if we think they're rare or limited. It creates this powerful sense of urgency, that fear of missing out, and it can completely short-circuit our rational thinking.
And here's exactly how they use it against you. You'll hear stuff just like this. They're creating this totally artificial deadline, pressuring you to act now, before you have a second to think, to do your research, to ask questions. It's a classic move, and man, is it effective. All right, next up is the overconfidence bias. This is that little voice in all of our heads that whispers, "Oh, that would never happen to me. I'm too smart for that." It's a really dangerous blind spot because it makes us lower our guard right when we need to be the most careful.
So how do scammers exploit this? They flatter you. They make you feel smart, special, like you're part of some exclusive club that gets it. This kind of stuff plays right into our ego, and it makes us way more likely to trust the very person who's setting a trap for us.
And look, it's not just those two biases. Scammers are also pros at playing on our emotions like greed or the fear of being left behind. They take advantage of our natural tendency to trust people, and they use peer pressure, making it seem like everybody else is getting rich and you're the only one missing out.
All of these things pile up and make us vulnerable.
Okay, so we get the threat, we see the playbook, but what can we actually do about it? How do we fight back? Let's talk about building a real defense strategy, one that turns you from a potential target into a totally empowered and savvy user.
And here's the most important thing to remember. Your best defense isn't some fancy antivirus software. It's knowledge. It's your brain. Just by understanding the tactics and the psychology we've been talking about, you are already building a pretty powerful shield.
From what we can see in the research, it really boils down to 3 key things. Think of them as the 3 pillars of your defense. First is financial literacy. Just knowing basic stuff, like there's no such thing as a guaranteed high return. Second is cybersecurity awareness, knowing what a phishing email looks like, and never, ever downloading an app from a random link. And third, something called cultural vigilance. Just having a healthy dose of skepticism and thinking critically, even if the tip comes from a friend who might have gotten fooled too.
And these pillars, they all work together. It's like a 3-legged stool. Take one away, and the whole thing gets wobbly. Your financial knowledge helps you spot the ridiculous offer. Your cyber awareness helps you spot the dangerous link. And your vigilance helps you resist the social pressure. Put them all together, and you've got a seriously solid defense.
So it all kind of comes down to this one question, doesn't it? Our digital lives are built on trust. We have to trust these platforms. We have to trust the people we connect with. The real challenge for all of us is to figure out how to navigate this world with our eyes wide open, knowing when to give that trust and when to hold back. And figuring out that balance, well, that's the key to staying safe out there.